now. All right, Republican Congressman Steve Scalise of Louisiana sits on the House Energy and Commerce Committee. He joins us here in the studio. Great to have you here in New York.
Great to be with you.
All right, the majority leader, minority leader at odds here, Harry Reid, saying no chance that this payroll tax cut extension with the Keystone pipeline attached to it will pass. Mitch McConnell says, oh, there's bipartisan support. And then you've got Lindsey Graham, who jumps in and seems to contradict McConnell, saying, quote, it's probably not going to sell. Who's right here?
Well, if you look, we passed a similar bill out of the House a few weeks ago that jumpstarts the Keystone project. We had over 40 Democrats that joined us in voting for that bill. So clearly, there is bipartisan support for this bill that creates over 20,000 American jobs. So it's something that the president ought to embrace if he wants to be concerned about the middle class. Here's a quick way to start over 20,000 middle-class jobs. And by the way, bringing about $7 billion of private investment into America.
And it's shovel-ready, won't cost taxpayers a nickel. AFL-CIO, Teamsters all supported and so forth. So what's the hang-up for the president?
Well, I think the radical environmentalists have the president kind of taken a...
Zero in taxes except FedEx, which only paid 1% out of the 35. The same tax privilege. So what's wrong with their millionaires' tax on this payroll tax cut extension?
Well, you know, about a year ago, the president himself acknowledged that if you raise taxes on people, it's actually going to make the economy worse. What we've said is the problem in Washington is not that there aren't enough taxes coming in. It's that Washington spends too much money. You don't solve that problem by sending Washington even more to spend. What you do is you close the loopholes, which we've proposed, by the way, close the loopholes and use that to lower overall rates for everybody. That actually creates jobs and makes America competitive again. Right now, we're about to have the highest corporate tax rate in the entire world. That makes our American companies uncompetitive. Let's fix that problem.
Yeah, but look, they shouldn't be paying zero, right?
Well, and that's why if you close the loopholes, again, we've actually proposed a plan that closes loopholes so that everybody pays their fair share and you lower overall rates. The president just wants to raise taxes to give Washington more money to spend.
If the payroll tax cut bill with a pipeline attached won't pass, and if the Democrat version with a millionaire tax attached won't pass, where is the compromise here before the end of the year? My goodness, time is running out.
Well, I think what we've laid out, in fact, we filed our bill Friday. We're going to vote on it this week. We've laid out a true compromise that actually solves many problems. We keep the payroll extension going. It's paid for, so it doesn't take any money away from Social Security. And then we also include a project like Keystone that creates over 20,000 middle-class jobs.
Are you on board with the extension of yet another extension of the unemployment benefits?
Well, I've always said it's got to be paid for so it doesn't take from Social Security, but then let's also get that Keystone project done. This would be great for the middle class. The president needs to support it.
You don't think that's a disincentive for people not to seek jobs?
Well, I think it's going to be something that gets benefits. You've got to reform the process right now because you've got, with 99 weeks, it's not paid for in the previous version. You got to pay for it. And you got to make real reforms so that it encourages people to get those jobs that are out there.
Congressman Steve Scalise, great to see you. Thanks very much for dropping by today. Martha?
All right, this just crossing the wires moments ago. NATO officially announcing the permanent withdrawal of troops from Iraq. With U.S. troops already set to leave, Iraq is on its own. We spoke to some of them, our troops, about the conditions on the ground there. Listen to what they had to say.
I'm happy for the Iraqi people that they are able to secure themselves and are looking at their best interests. I'm also very happy that we are upholding the security agreement and leaving on time.
But this is all fraught with controversy. Meanwhile, President Obama and Iraqi President Nouri al-Maliki are talking today in Washington. Critics say that they should have been talking all along and that Iran is ready to make its move in Iraq. We've got more on that coming up.
And a bench clearing brawl on the basketball